Alrighty folks, I am Doodleman149, and it's been a year since I made my New Year's resolutions for gaming, so let's just take a look back at the year and see how I did with those resolutions. Fingers crossed. On my list of goals is to read more. I know, what a frigging nerd. However, dear viewer, I won't be reading anything educational or otherwise beneficial to my learning. Oh, no. Instead, I've decided to delve further into the wonderfully dark universe of the far future with these Warhammer 40k books. I specifically asked for some 40k books for Christmas, and I was not disappointed. First one on my list was given to me by my wife. It's the Vincula Insurgency Ghost Dossier 1 by Dan Abnett. I've gotten some advice that he's an excellent 40k writer, so I'm looking forward to this one. In addition to this, my sister got me Helbrecht to further explore my favorite Space Marine chapter, and a huge 992-page Legacy of Caliban Omnibus softcover book as well. I'm excited to get reading something interesting again, and I think these books are for me for the foreseeable future. In total, I've got over 1,500 pages to read, so I better get on it. I don't have a timeline for these, as I just want to enjoy them at my leisure. My first goal of reading more was one I was excited to get into. I had some Warhammer books on my Christmas list, and when I got them, I dug right into the Vincula Insurgency by Dan Abnett. I came to realize that this was just the latest chapter in the Gaunt's Ghost series, so I was missing some context, but it was still a super enjoyable read nonetheless. I'll have to go back and get the previous books at some point. I started reading Helbrecht to learn more about my chapter's High Marshal. I haven't finished it yet, but that's because my reading over the years has really slowed down, and every time I get any free time, I pretty much game instead of read. That also means I haven't really touched the Legacy of Caliban book that I had, so in terms of this goal, I did pretty okay, honestly. Next on my list is exercise. My wife got me a couple of 25-pound dumbbells, a small step up from my previous single 20-pounder, and on top of this, I'm going to be retrieving my dad's old weight bench from my parents' house at some point and setting it up at home. I'm also hoping to get my exercise bike back from my parents who lent it to a friend, but we'll see about that. Anywho, the main reason for this is that I've gained quite a bit of weight the past few years, and I'm at 235 now. I've got a little belly going on, and I'm looking to shrink that back down with the exercise bike and some core workouts. On top of that, with the weights and such, I'm looking to get even stronger than I am. I don't lift regularly, except at work, but I'm wondering if I'm as strong as I am now with little effort, then what heights can I reach in the future if I actually put in the work? I've got the structure for more power, I just need to reach out and take it. In addition to this, I'm also looking to take better care of myself in general. I'm not saying that I have self-destructive tendencies, I don't really drink and I don't do drugs, I just don't see a doctor as much as I probably should. To remedy this, I've been to the dermatologist for the first time in literally December this past year. I've got a neurologist appointment lined up for March, I need to schedule an eye exam, and I definitely need to start getting some injections in my knees. I've basically ignored how shitty they've been feeling for the past 7 years, so I'm finally going to take some steps so that I'm not in pain every single second of every fucking day. I'm looking to get my weight bench from my parents sometime in January and to trim my belly by summertime. Now we get to something that really bothers me, the exercising goal. I started off strong, I'll admit, but since maybe April, I haven't really exercised in earnest at all. I lift my dumbbells very randomly when I walk past them doing the laundry, but in terms of the weight bench, it still isn't assembled, and I haven't been on the exercise bike at all. Despite all this, I've still lost some weight, so good on me, I guess? I went to get my headaches checked out, and the doctor gave me some preventative medicine to help. The first one I received, though, made every carbonated beverage taste like complete ass, so I switched to something else that the only side effect of it being is making me drowsy. But since I take it at night, that's not really a big deal. What is a big deal is that my insurance does not want to cover the visit despite it being a covered referral, so yeah, fuck you, Aetna. In regards to my knees, I went to get them checked out, and they said I'd have to go to physical therapy. Again, before I could get any sort of medicine to help with that. Well, PT is expensive, and the fact they want me to jump through hoops just to feel better is a shit line of thinking. As such, I've kept my money for more important things, and my knees feel like dog shit. Regarding this goal, I completely failed, which is not exactly surprising. Now on to something that you're probably more interested in, my gaming goals for 2023. First on this list is to play with some new people. The list of friends that I've regularly played with has dwindled down to basically no one. I've gotten in touch with Justin again, and we've been playing more regularly, something that I've been greatly enjoying. However, I feel that once he recovers from the injuries he sustained last year, he may not be available to game as much as he is right now. As such, I need to make some new gaming friends. On top of that, I need to actually reach out and play with the newer ones that I made over 2022. There's some, like Anti-Dark Magic, that I play with semi-regularly, but even that's a stretch. And there's others like Angie's and Crooks that I haven't played with more than twice, probably. I just needed to put more time into being outgoing and to maintain any sort of gaming friendships, and that's exactly what I plan to do this year. I'm aiming to have 5 more gaming friends that I regularly play with by the end of the year. As such, if you play anything I play and want to add me on Xbox or whatever, feel free to do so and let me know you did so we can play sometime. Well, here we are at one of the touchiest subjects of this video, my gaming friends. Suffice it to say, I don't play with anyone anymore. If you're watching this and I've played with you, I am not looking at a single night or 1 or 2 matches together as making a new gaming friend. No offense to anyone, but 99% of my gaming time is solo, and that's probably directly related to me not wanting to play games that I find to be objectively bad. So, while it could be my fault, I've dropped from a handful of gaming friends to 0. That is a big dub right there. My second gaming goal is to figure out how I might be able to use YouTube to stream some games from time to time. I honestly don't really like using Twitch as it kind of splits my viewers. YouTube people don't watch Twitch stuff and vice versa. So I was hoping to learn how to stream some games directly to YouTube this coming year. I'm sure I'll need to figure out how to use the capture card I got last year or the year before, I can't really remember, but I'm confident that I can get it done. I'm trying to take some advice from It's Nordy Morty, who streams on YouTube. He mentioned that live streams can do a little more to show your personality, where videos can be very clean and monitored, like this one. The biggest hurdle I see with this plan, however, is finding time to do it. Other than some holidays that I have that my wife doesn't, I typically cannot guarantee a streaming schedule. Some nights I get on a little later than others, and some nights I'm not on at all. I feel it'll be hard to build a live audience if they can't really expect me to be on at certain times. Also, I'm never going to be able to stream for more than an hour, so I'll have to see if it's even worth it if I can't even be on that long. All things that take time will take time to learn, of course, both in the setup of the stream and how to best engage my audience, but I plan to have my first live stream done by the end of March. I don't even know what I was thinking here. I tried streaming on a night when my wife went to a concert with her friends so that I had plenty of time to get a long stream in and see how I liked it, but it turns out it's not for me. I knew it wasn't, but I wanted to give it a go again. I don't have the time or consistency to make streaming work, and my entertainment value when gaming live is less than 0. So I'm definitely not cut out for this, and I'm not sure why I ever thought I would be. And lastly, my final goal for 2023 is to get back into writing. I used to write quite a bit. I used to write as a kid. However, as I've been getting older, I haven't been giving it as much time as I should. I really like creative writing, and it's always been tons of fun once I get the groove going. However, something just always comes up. I get busy with something, or I get distracted from writing for an extended period of time, and I just leave it. I have so many stories that are yet to be completed because my free time just keeps getting smaller and smaller. As such, when I do get free time for just me, I tend to game instead. I still get to put some personality into my scripts here and there, but I mostly do informative content, so there's only so much leeway there. However, I've decided that I can combine gaming and writing together for YouTube purposes. I know I just said I mostly do informative videos, but I was looking to start making story videos based on some of the games I play. Notably, I have a script written for a first chapter of a Sea of Thieves story, and I'm looking to get a script written for a first chapter of a story set in Ghost Recon Wildlands. I feel this combo will be great, as it will allow me to craft some stories set in these games without them being the stories of these games. Plus, it'll give me some footage goals if I have a story written for what I want to showcase. When it comes to these types of videos, I'm going to do my best to make them as cinematic as possible, like no HUD elements, high quality voiceover work, and sound balancing with high video quality. I guess I'd essentially be making a TV show with an irregular release date. I have high hopes for these, and I think they'll be a ton of fun, even if the audiences aren't super receptive to them at first. I'm looking at my first episode of Sea of Thieves out in March, and my first Wildlands episode out by May. This one's a hard one for me. I really like to write. I always have. I just can't really find ways to incorporate my creative writing into the videos I make. My best, and probably only attempt I can really think of, was when I did the Terramorph video for Starfield. Check that out if you want, it's right up here. It didn't do that well, but most of my videos don't, so it's right on par with that. So, while I'd really like to make this a part of my videos, I am just not good enough. Task failed successfully. So, yeah, that's my goals from last year and how I did with them. I read a little bit, exercised in the beginning, but fell off hard, lost all my gaming friends, tried streaming, and learned it's an arena I should avoid, and I failed to include creative writing in my videos. On the plus side, some of my Starfield videos are doing pretty well, and my subscriber count is getting decently high, and I made my first $100 from ad revenue. Despite that, however, I almost completely quit making videos earlier this year, right after I made my $100. It just felt like nothing I was doing was worth anything. But anywho, in terms of my actual planned goals, it was a resounding failure. Because of course I am.